So it's kind of a moot point right now, so we can keep on going with the way we're doing things, and everything's good and approved.
Mhm.
So that's where we're sitting with those, with our permitting, and everything's looking good. Any questions on item number 3? Okay, we'll go to item number 4, discussion on the Willow Flycatcher projects, and also we'll cover the tree fencing. Like I said earlier, we have the harvest permit, the free use permit for the willows approved for down the canyon. My big concern is, since we're not having much of a winter and it's not very cold out, I'm worried about the survivability of the willows that we do cut. And that's my big concern with this winter. We just have not had the cold temperatures to really harden off those willow stems. So I guess all we can do is just do the best we can and see what type of success we get out of that. Hopefully it'll cool off, and then those temperatures will help us out. I did go down the canyon 2 weeks ago, actually a week ago, a little over a week ago, and some of the willows down south, especially towards Carp and them, are actually starting to come out of dormancy and leafing out, which is kind of crazy for this time of year. I looked at the site we did the beaver fencing previously last year, and I was making a plan to go back in there. I'm actually going to have to bring a chainsaw because there's some of the trees they fell are kind of widow makers, and they've landed on our fencing, so I've got to straighten that all out. But I'm just going to keep working that area, and hopefully we can save as many trees as we can. Any questions on that?
You start cutting too much, you might as well cut you some firewood.
Yeah, I hate burning cottonwood. It's a nasty wood well, I think it's just dirty. But yeah, I'll just do enough cutting just to get the trees out, hung up from where they're laying into our cages already. So other than that, I haven't seen any new beaver predation spots besides where they're really hitting down the canyon. There's still a lot of activity in the private parcels closer to Caliente. We'll just keep an eye out and keep dealing with them as we can. Item number 5 is reports from board members, committee members, and/or administrators. Do you guys have anything?
I don't have anything, Chris.
I don't either, Chris.
Okay. The only other thing I have is I did go around and look. Our signs that Rhonda put up, the Desert Tortoise signs, are missing from the Cane Springs Road and the Alamo Canyon Road. So we're going to have to reorder those. They even took the post. I think they're just still in signs, something like that. So for the next agenda, I'll put something on it so we can discuss this and see what we want to do with it. I've got a couple ideas I'm kicking around. I need to talk to the BLM about one of them and seeing if it's even possible. But maybe we can use their kiosks that are out in those areas and post something out there kind of more protected than what we have. Yeah, I think it's just people see those signs and they just take them, and who knows what they do with them. You see, oh, the other thing I do have is, yesterday I was contacted by a lady who works for an environmental engineering firm out of Indiana. And they had questions because their client has a 5-acre parcel located, just north of the Cade Springs, turnoff where it turns into 93. And it is, I checked, and it is in our HCP, and what they're looking at doing is they want to make approximately a half an acre, concrete pad, for placing, I think they're going to place some trailers or something on it. And, she's going to be passing me the contact information. It was just a general, what do you guys do and everything like that, and how long does it take, but, she stated that she thought the landowner was forecasting about a year for him to get all the permits and everything in place. When I let her know it would be a lot quicker than that, she was very happy about that. So we'll see what comes of this. It'll just be another small parcel located down there, but we'll go ahead and meet with them and see exactly what it is. I'll pass that information on to you on the next meeting. And that's all I had. Okay, is there any, item number 6, is there any public comment?
I don't know how to raise a hand using your service.
Oh, go ahead. Who's this?
Matthew Winterhawk for the record. Just want to say hi and thank you to each and every one of you with what you're doing. Conservation is very important to me. And then this is my first time sitting in Lincoln County.
Oh, good. Where are you from?
I'm out in Clark County.
Oh, good. Are you affiliated with their HCP or?
So I am trying to instill citizens being citizens again, sitting inside of these meetings, right? And so I stream all of the meetings that I see and am available to attend on notice.nv.gov. So if it's available, I try and put it out there and get Nevadans re-engaged in sitting in these seats and understanding where their true power is.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds great. Any way we can get more participation in these meetings would be great.
Absolutely.
Especially from the general public. In fact, I've been here for a little less than 2 years, and you're the first person that's called in that wasn't affiliated with either local government or that type of activity.
Well, I thank you. It means a lot.
Good. Okay. So where are we? So did you have anything you're concerned about?
No, not at all. I think my rural's managed very well. My goal in government is to return the power completely back to the 17 counties. They know what they were doing for all those years, 161 moving to 162 years. I want them to see them flourish and be able to control and have local minimized government, which is just who lives there, who resides there, and my Nevadans owning Nevada again.
Great. Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you for doing that.
Have a great day, and thank you. I mean, 7:30 in the morning, gentlemen, ladies, thank you.
Okay, with that, one thing I didn't say was our next meeting is Wednesday, February 18th, 2026 at 7:30 a.m. Okay, with that, does someone want to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, with that, motion passed.
Thanks, Chris.
Well, thank you. We'll be hearing from you soon.
Thank you, Chris.
Have a good day.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, so that was the first call, and that one went incredibly smooth. But as you heard Chris speaking there, he said he's been doing this for over 2 years, and this was the first time that he's had somebody outside of government sitting inside that meeting. Do you understand what I'm trying to bring and what I want to instill is nothing where oh, Winterhawk, he just wants all this power. No, I want you to take your power back. I am here to empower, EM in front of that power. Empower Nevadans. This is our state. We just have to take it back by participating. That's it. The more butts that are sitting in these seats leaves less room for lobbyists and corporations and special interest groups to be in there to manage and say that that's what they want. And if you think that they haven't moved people in real estate development, utility companies, these different lights that become lobbyists, right? The same way that Washington has an entire carve-out for Congress members to sit down with lobbyists, it happens here too. We have people living here that are directly living here just because of the corporation's benefit. They lobby on behalf of the advancement and the winning and success of their companies, corporations, and not Nevadans. So we need to start sitting down in these seats. It's not to criticize you. It's not to condescend. It is to offer you an olive branch in your own story where you become the main character. I forgot to hit the live button on Instagram. Hold on. All right, so we're moving into 8, so we got about 12 minutes before the next meeting, and here's the thing, choosing that next meeting. Now, luckily, you can see that there's like this bridge gap between the overlap here. So I've got CSN, which I can go into right now. This is a governance meeting. See how it says download the meeting agenda? You click that button, boom, open up that window. So then you can come down and here's your access. Here's your committee members. You come down and there'll be an agenda item. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every one of them is pretty close. So this is going to be a College of Southern Nevada public meeting. And I don't know what it regards to because last night I was at a meeting myself, meeting many different Nevadans inside of Clark County, shaking hands and saying hi and showing face at the Clark County Republican meeting last night. It was a good time. I love seeing the people. I love the meeting for the community and the engagement and the true work that goes in the conversations in the background. I absolutely hate being yelled at by grown men and women in the background while many of us Nevadans are having very quiet, very respectful conversations that are about issues that need to be addressed. Most of us don't come there to listen to bylaw conversation or nonsense. We've reviewed it. If you send out the email, we review it, we vote on it, we move forward with our day. That's not our focus, is to be there to listen to you tell us about the club, the party, or the rules, or nobody cares. Wake up, ladies and gentlemen. You're losing your base because as your Nevadans are engaging inside of that community there, you've got grown men and women yelling at grown men and women to shut their mouths, to shut up. You can't do that. I don't know if you've learned anything, but in order to get respect, you give respect. And that was disrespectful and always has been disrespectful in every one of these meetings. I understand that you hold yourself with high regards as committee members or board members or these things. And you try to keep a quorum and you try to keep these things together. I understand. But you have to let things advance organically. And as we knew, you were off schedule. Your meeting was supposed to start at 6:30. It did not. There was a lot of different things. It was a brand new location. People were navigating this, and they were also coming fresh off of holidays, New Year's experience, different things that have happened globally, nationally, that they want to talk about, and they have not seen each other for probably over a month. I don't know. I was very disheartened by the activity in the background when you've got grown adults screaming. And I mean, they were screaming at the top of their lungs. Shut up! Quiet! Like, what are you doing? We've got a lot of young voters and younger age, and I get it. They don't want to sit there and listen to bylaw speech. They want to know what's the plan of action? Where are we moving forward? What is going on right now? How can they affect and help? And then let's talk about actionable solutions that we're going to be implementing when we're not inside of this meeting. None of that's discussed. It's always so much. We're special up here. Bang, 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 gavel. Are you guys listening to us? Bad leadership. Angry people. You're going to lose because you pander to races, you pander to groups, you play games, you tell people to shut up when they come to your meeting, then you simultaneously ask them to fundraise and buy dinner tickets for hundreds of dollars to support candidates that they don't even know. It's hilarious. Guys, ladies, gentlemen, I'm not here to, once again, criticize you because its criticism itself is evident in the way in which you present and exhibit your patriotism in the room with people. I'm telling you, it's turning people off. Let me help you, okay? You help me, help you. Listen. Listen. Try listening. Listening. It goes a long way. I swear to you it does. You don't always speak and tell people and direct and order. You ask and you listen and you compromise and you say thank you to the people that are in that room that take time out of their day. Let me explain something to you people. You people that don't respect time. Time is more valuable than money. If you haven't figured this out, figure it out. We exchange this irreplaceable time for money. That's the whole exchange. Your time, whether it be skilled labor, skilled thought, whatever need be, that's what's being paid for. That's what's being sequestered. Not your face, not, oh, look, it's so-and-so's here. They don't care. They want your skill and your time. An employer wants your skill and your time. They give you money for it. That's the bargain and negotiation. You understand? So, if you're not doing that, what are you doing? Suppose we're wasting that, right? People don't like to waste time. It's irreplaceable. It cannot come back. If they spend an hour there, I've lost an hour with my kids. I've lost an hour with my wife. I've lost an hour with my friend or family. My job, earning, whatever. You should value that time. First and foremost, thank you guys. I know you could be anywhere else inside of Las Vegas and the state and the nation, but you chose to be here with us tonight, and that means an awful lot. That means you care about this and us moving forward together as a unified group and starting to bring more people in unified. But it's not. I don't know. It's sad that that's where it is. And there's no difference, right? If you were to show up at some libertarian party or a liberal party or a Democrat party or this party or that, they're all going to have the same thing because they've learned that long. And much like government in general, please do not think for 1 second that I don't respect the work that you did and or the initial reason you got into legislation or a litigious type of job or an executive position inside of government, whether it's state or federal. Don't think that I take that for granted. I do, however, understand that things change, especially decades later. And when you have the same people in there decades later, generations later, there's a disconnect between who is moving in the crowd and who was retired and still trying to direct the crowd from the stage and podium as if they are an active member inside of it, which they aren't. They're not the one going to college. They're not the ones struggling back and forth between healthcare. They don't deal with these things, but they're the ones managing you. Maybe there should be this thing called term limits. Oh wait, we have those. Cool. Here's another thing. When someone fails you their first term, whether it's a 2-year term, a 4-year term, or a 6-year term, you don't give them another term at all. This is not a position where you get to fail and then say, sorry, and get another position. You don't get to do that. There are many things in life you can apologize and try again. You could try and make me another latte if you screw up the first one. But if you mess up racial interaction, immigration, infrastructure, law and order, justice, you don't get another chance. I don't understand how there's just, okay, we'll give everyone a chance. That's right. Everyone has the capacity to run for a legislative position, an executive position, or a judicial position. It's the way that this country's built. Read your Constitution, whether it's a state or federal. You want your 19 articles, you want your 7 articles. You want your 112 plus amendments, you want your 27 amendments. You tell me which one you're reading. Both of them are the same. It's about us with this freedom and responsibility. It does not say stay in power, hold power, and make people live the way you want to live. Nowhere in there does it say that. But that is exactly what Americans and Nevadans are feeling. So, it's not to pick on somebody because they're old. It's not ageist. It's just a fact that if you want to put somebody into a race or to fight, as people like to say, fight, we're fighting for... You don't put in the 70-year-old who's tired, who doesn't care, who does not go to college, who does not have babies, who does not go back and forth to daycare, who does not go to school, who does not go to a job, who does not understand what you deal with every day. A government is meant to be of, by, for we the people. But look, we are the people. They're Americans. Yes, they're retired Americans making exorbitant salaries with no responsibility outside of showing up for a camera and be like, I'm fighting for you. Guys, I'm back again. It's me. I'm fighting for you. It's me. Hi, guys. Hey, I've got time because I'm retired and rich, and I'm fighting for you. Bro, I'm tired of that, and so is everyone inside of Nevada. They don't give a damn the label. They are tired of rich, unaffected people telling them they're fighting for them. Buddy, you have not fought your entire life, silver spoon in mouth, and unless you built yourself up from your bootstraps and didn't have familial generational earning or something to start off with, which a great deal of positions inside the government are nepotism bound. That's not his daughter, that's not his son. No, but it's his daughter's frickin' boyfriend's cousin's son. Well, he was the best qualified. Or did you only take 7 applications? I'm tired of listening to the nonsense excuses. We need to be literal. We need to be honest with each other. And we need to start doing the hard work worth doing that Roosevelt said was necessary. Hard work worth doing. There's a reason why I say it over and over and over again. There's also a reason I say simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. There are some key quotes in my life that I will live by always. And also, it is what it is. There are things beyond our control and beyond our understanding, and we just move forward in the best light that we can to deliver equally to Nevadans. Not to these Nevadans or those Nevadans or this Nevadan or that Nevadan. We're here for all Nevadans. All right, 8 a.m. What's our next meeting? CSN. Let's go. Sorry, I wanted to kill some time in between. 702, 660. Do you see that on the screen there? 7529. Fantastic. And we're not going to stay on the phone all day because I got some meetings later. I got Moms for Liberty meeting later on in the evening. I've got whatever else if people want to meet out throughout the city. I'm here in Clark County, Nye, and Lincoln for the next, up until February 16th. So, you want to meet? You want me to come down and sit down? I don't care if it's just me and you at your restaurant, me and you at your business, me and you and a couple people. I'm here to listen. I want to understand, and I have to understand. And in order to do that, I have to have somebody who speaks intelligently who lives there at all times, not just comes there for a vote or a visit. You understand? I care deeply. Here we go. Let's see if I got the number right. Looks like I did.
Welcome to the audio conferencing.
333 42 pound.
After the tone, please record your name and then press pound.
Matthew Winterhawk.
You're now joining the meeting.
Thank you all. This meeting is being recorded and transcribed.
All right, well, let me kick us off here. Before beginning, we take a moment to recognize that here in Nevada, we stand on the land of the Washoe, Washoe, Numu, Northern Paiute.
You've been muted. To unmute yourself, press *6.
You know, I'm glad they muted me because this is
We
my
take a
favorite
moment
thing.
to recognize and honor their stewardship, and that continues into today. With this recognition, we state an intention to rightfully include their voice and respect them as the 27 sovereign tribal nations of Nevada. And we did roll call already, so I'm going to read one other item on public comment here as we go to agenda item number 2. It says here, this meeting is being conducted by the use of remote technology system pursuant to Nevada Revised Statutes 241.02011. Members of the CSN Foundation Governance Committee and or the public may utilize the remote technology system to attend and participate in the meeting, including to provide public comment. Public comment may be submitted in person via remote technology system, email to csn.foundation@csn.edu, or voicemail at 702-651-7301. Messages received by 8 a.m. on Tuesday, January 20th, 2026 may be entered into the record during the meeting. Any other public comment, form submissions and or voicemails received prior to the adjournment of the meeting will be transcribed and included in the permanent record. And Danita, are there any public comments?
Hand raised.
Point in time. Oh, we have a hand raised.
You're no longer muted.
Good morning, board and
we have
chairs. Matthew Winterhawk for the record, Winterhawk. I just wanted to say hi to, it looks like Rebecca, Paul, Dan, Rainier, Danita, Doreen, and Tina. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing for Nevada and our college students and the higher education. I truly appreciate that. This is my first time sitting in on this meeting particularly, and I just wanted to say I'm here and helping Nevada navigate these different civic engagement meetings. Thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
You've been muted. To unmute yourself, press...
And
Hand raised.
comments,
Hand
Anita?
lowered. Hand
I
lowered.
see none at this time.
Okay, perfect. All right. Now Rebecca's obviously not with us today, so I think I will handle her section where we are going to approve some minutes. We have actually two different set of minutes that we need to approve. So first would be I would entertain a motion to approve the Governance Committee meeting minutes from Wednesday, July 30th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
I motion to approve. I don't know if Dan's still on the line. Oh yeah, Dan is still there.
He is.
Yeah, motion to approve.
Okay, we have a first and a second, Rainier and Dan. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And there's no no one abstaining from vote here. So we have another set of minutes here. So I would entertain a motion to approve the Governance Committee meeting minutes from Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025.
Motion to approve. Motion to second.
Second that, Dan.
So that was
I
Rainier
second that.
and Dan again.
Yes, Rainier and Dan. Okay. All right. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? And no abstentions. Okay. Great. The next item on our agenda is Board of Trustee membership. And Rebecca was queued up to provide this update. Danita, can I ask you to say some comments on this point in Rebecca's absence?
Absolutely. I just wanted to share with all of you and all the work that we're doing in the governance committee that I have been meeting with potential board member candidates that have come forth. I've actually met with, we have 7 folks that I have been I have met with or plan to meet with. So I've met with a community leader and a connector. So I'll be meeting with that individual this week. I've met with a business professional and waiting for a response on whether or not they would like to move forward to the next steps. I've reached out to 3 prominent business affiliates and community leaders. So I have one of interest and one I'm waiting for a response on, and a planned giving representative and a philanthropist. So we are hitting in areas of need of what we're looking for our board membership. So this is really exciting. We should have some new board members join us here on July 1.
Wonderful, wonderful. And just to restate what we talked about in our board meeting, and I know Danita sent out an email on this as well, we are looking to build the board from our current number of 13 up to 20 by the end of the year, and obviously have multiple benefits for the foundation, including our fund, more hands to help achieve our fundraising efforts, and provide governance and leadership for the foundation. So that is that's our stated goal there. Danita, can you remind the members here who are present the areas that we're looking for regarding board members? There's a few areas specifically that you have in mind. Do you want to share any of that?
Sure. In some of our discussions, we have talked about what kind of membership are we looking for, representation from specific areas and industry. And I've always shared with all of you is that we have, College Southern Nevada has over 200 programs. So it's always nice to have representation from those areas. But we've kind of honed it down a little bit, not omitting those. Obviously, we need those, but we're looking for representation from specific program areas of the college, such as public safety areas, which would be of value, estate planning, which we're currently working on, community leaders, those that have a passion for education and workforce development in our community. Those are really key in the work that we're doing. So any suggestions of folks that you may have in mind that would really lend to the work that we have here and moving our mission forward would be of great value and very, very helpful. And as Paul said, there's a lot of work that we're doing, and we need a few more hands to help us do that. So if you have suggestions outside and from your observations and being on the board for quite some time, if you have any ideas or suggestions, email me directly, and then we can have a conversation on those individuals and maybe make introductions. So we can talk about what the foundation does and determine interest from individuals. Is that helpful?
That's great.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's great. Thanks, Danita. Appreciate that.
You guys are out in the community a lot, and you just know a lot of people. So it might be if you think of someone that might be a wonderful person to have and really believes in what we're doing and can help us, that would be wonderful. Just give me a call.
Great. Okay, good. There's a couple other items that that Rebecca had on in her section. Board of Trustee campus tours. You want to speak about that, Danita?
I'll let Doreen I can't talk today. Doreen Alvarado talk about the tours that she has scheduled for all of us.
Perfect.
Good morning, everyone. We have an upcoming tour of the West Charleston campus next week, next Thursday to be exact, and at 3:15 in the afternoon. The goal is to meet here in Danita's office at E312, and then from there we will be toured by some CSN staff who will give us a tour and highlight a few key spots on the campus. And this works as really a familiarization tour of the campus. The whole point of this tour is to really, again, familiarize ourselves with what major programs are happening here at the college. There'll be another one scheduled for the Henderson campus in March. So once again, the January 29th, the tour of West Charleston should last about an hour and 15, from 3:15 to about 4:30. And so you're welcome, even if your schedule changes, if you'd like to join, you're more than welcome to just let me know. If you could just drop me a line at doreen.alvarado@csn.edu, or just call the foundation at 702-651-5401 if you'd like to join the tour, even last minute. That would be wonderful. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Doreen. I really appreciate you setting these up. Would it be safe to say these are good? These tours are available for not just board members, but prospective donors to the foundation, or are we limiting these to board members only?
Specifically, I was instructed really to design these tours for the board, with the board in mind, so that we as a foundation staff understand what it is that we're promoting. But of course, if we have donors that you'd like to bring along, the more the merrier, Danita. Is that correct?
Absolutely. We'd be happy if you had somebody in mind. Just let us know, and we could certainly give them the information they need to join us. And we would be more than happy to give additional tours. And because a lot of times we'll have donors that are specifically interested in a program, and then we can spend a little bit more time coordinating that. But absolutely, the more the merrier.
Okay. I assume that's also prospective board members would be even available. Okay, good.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
I don't know if this is a plus or one last thing. Part of the tour is to also look at the funeral services program next week, including a Sindaver. So just a heads up.
Sindaver. I do not know what that is, but
I don't know if it's truly a Sindaver, but it might be a type of model that they use for funeral services programming. So I'm pretty curious to see what that is. And I'm certain that these models provide that real life experience and hands-on learning. So I know it's new because the program is new. So that is one of the stops that we're going to make, since it is such a new program to the college.
Perfect, thank you. And then there's one final item listed here on agenda item number 4, which is the Board Governance Committee Strategic Plan for 2025-2026 Goals and Objectives Update. Can I ask you to talk about that as well, Danita?
Yes, so I wanted to let all of you know that, we've talked about this. And so I have done a board self-evaluation, and I keep revisiting it because I think it's very lengthy, and I'm trying to shorten it just to make it a little bit, not simple, but really targeted towards information where we can capture the feedback needed that will enhance and guide the foundation's mission-driven goals and focus. So that's what I'm kind of taking a look at. So hopefully I can get that finalized in the next week or so and get that out to the board so that we can get some really great feedback on how we can provide greater impact in the work that we're doing, or even maybe change a workflow process or how we do something. So I'm working on that, and you should see that soon. And this is something that the entire board will work on and complete in an anonymous fashion as well. So just letting you all know that. And then the other area that we're working on is a review of our bylaws. And so Tina and I will sit down and do a first review for the first step to see if there's anything that needs to be revised based on any changes that have occurred statewide, and then we'll do that first draft, and then we'll send it, and I'll work with all the board members one-on-one to make sure that I get everybody's feedback on any changes they feel are of value, and then I'll bring it forth to the board to review and discuss and possibly adopt.
Great. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to agenda item number 5, Executive Director Report.
So I wanted to let you all know in some of the work that we've been doing with within the governance committee, you all know that we've worked on the board member nomination candidate packet, and we put together all the steps on how we, do work with new board members. And I thought that it's a great packet. It's just very long, especially for those initial conversations. So what I did is I have put together a flyer that just has at a glance snapshot of what our mission is when we came into adoption, what our mission and values and vision are. A little bit of information about the college, like the campus locations and satellite offices, and a little bit about the number of programs that we have. So it's a really great, just at-a-glance snapshot that I provide potential board member candidates that are interested in, rather than going through that whole packet. And then I put together a little folder that I provide them so that they can really take a look at making the best decision for them and whether our foundation would be a great fit for them. So I just wanted to share that. I've got a lot of great feedback on it, so I'm very pleased with it. I have also, just to let you know, submitted the directors and officers of liability insurance yesterday. So they sent us a renewal quote and asked for some additional information from us, and so that has been taken care of. And we saw a minor increase of $132 to our policy, so that will be paid here in February. So moving along, nothing changed in our limits. All is on par for that. And then I'm also, just for your information, is starting to work on the annual budget and fundraising plan for the upcoming fiscal year. And so I will take that and coordinate all of that through the proper channels for board discussion and approval. So just want to let you know those are some things that I'm working on in our office.
Great. Thank you very much. Any questions for Danita before we move on? Okay. Hearing none. Agenda item number 6, new business. Is there any new business that we should agendize for discussion at our next governance committee meeting? Okay, hearing none. Public comment. Danita, is there any additional public comment? Item number.
Hand raised.
Yes, we do have a hand raised. Go ahead.
You're no longer muted.
Sorry, it takes a second to get unmuted. Matthew Winterhawk, for the record, Winterhawk. Just want to say I appreciate, once again, being able to sit in and engage in this, and the availability of remote availability, as 2,500 plus board meetings, 313 plus boards, advisories, councils, and oversight committees, etc. in this state. It's incredibly taxing to try and stay on top of all of them. Matter of fact, dare I say, impossible. So it is incredibly important, the work that you do, and it does not go unnoticed. That is for sure. And earlier in a representation talking about a job posting or position for board meetings, and I heard the philanthropy and the different angles. Fantastic, great. I'm not sure because I haven't done my due diligence, and I will. Don't worry moving forward. But I would love to see a listing for student involvement, Nevadans student involvement. I'm sure it's already there, but just something so that I can see that representable, or maybe I could even assist as a public member to put this out there like, hey, CSN is looking for these members, and use the public as well the millions and millions of us that have an online presence, and to be able to establish and associate and help with that as well, and to be able to engage and serve civically as well. So if we can assist, we would love to assist. That's all I'm doing. Is that we're here as a asset to you, just as you are an asset to us as appointed leadership. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate that. Okay, we're going to move to agenda item number 8, which is adjournment, and I will.
All right, so first adjournment, that's done. We're going to bounce over here. Now, you see that we can't get to the contractor meeting, but I did make the statement. So sometimes there's things like here, like the Board of Architects. Wait, hold on. That's the secondary one. The contractor board meeting that I had up here. Hold on, right here. We're not going to be able to go because, unfortunately, as many amazing remote technology availabilities as there is out there, whether it's Microsoft Teams, whether it's Zoom, whether it's these new dial-up services that they're utilizing, there is always some, and even Lincoln County's, working on a conservation efforts. I was able to call in there. It may not be as uniform, so I can't *5 hand up or *9 hand up or unmute or mute, so it's a little more archaic, but the engagement is necessary. So when I see something like this, and it's 283 pages of 1,000+ bonds, this is your money, this is CTAX contributions being issued to X companies, who knows which companies, thousands of them. Hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars that are going out to these contractors, and you have no way to engage unless, of course, you can stop. And matter of fact, I think I just saw some stuff right there that I don't like. Literally. Mooresville, North Carolina. Who else? Santa Ana, California. Mooresville, North Carolina. Oh, but they have a project here. Phoenix, Arizona. Cool. I want to make sure that all of these licenses and all of these jobs that are being issued are Nevadan companies. First, out the gate, any trade, anything goes to Nevadans. Every job, every sector, every availability. The last thing I ever want to see again is going to an event and seeing San Bernardino hired security instead of my North Las Vegas Police Department covering an event, or my Metro Police, or my Marshals, or my... You understand what I'm saying? How in the hell? I don't give a damn. You're contracting with out-of-state contractors? That is my piece with what I would say inside of there. Absolutely, unequivocally, a disgusting spit in the face of every service member, whether you're union or non-unionized, inside of this state when you go and you look at these contractor board meetings, and you will know immediately why it's hard to get to. Because you must show up physically at 8400 West Sunset Road, Suite 150, or 5390 Kietzke Lane in Reno, Nevada. That's it. Oh, we'll make special accommodations for disabled. How about mothers that can't make it there, fathers that can't make it there, community members that can't make it there? Do they not count? Are they not important? Are they not citizens? See, I get it that you want to make all of these availabilities for people that are disabled. This is the way it should be. Seniors, disabled, people that truly physically cannot get there. But there are also, as you like to fundraise on out there in this state, equity barriers, transportation barriers, weather barriers, a lot of different issues, which is why remote engagement is key in 2026. Agenda for the State Contractors Board notice of meeting, shame on you, because you have not made it easy for your community, your governing body, we the people, we the Nevadans, to engage. So all I can do is complain until I get the time to specifically me go down to this damn meeting and sit in there when they go, wow, there's somebody here. Okay? Like I said, it's not nefarious intent. But when you don't make it available and then you're pushing through hundreds of millions of dollars in bonds, a great majority of those are going to Pennsylvania. I don't know. Who else? Let's scroll. Okay, here, let's go. One for Pennsylvania. Okay, here we go. Nevada, Nevada. Colorado, California, Nevada, California, Nevada, Texas, Nevada. Do you see any succession? Nevada. Well, we don't have the experts here. We have trade schools. We literally have a publicly funded trade school to have our own people educated in these ways so that we create the next generation of skilled trades, journeyman electrician, masonry, carpentry, you name it. electricians. Let's go. I'm not picking on the fact that people come here to work, but I am upset when California, like, if this job could have been given to somebody else inside of here, I don't even want to think about the fact. Oh, well, they're filing for the, yeah, get them out of here. Why doesn't that person, and if we're so bad, remember the AB5 conversation about how people had to go out of state to work as contractors? Hello? What does that mean when we have people from Utah and Pennsylvania and Connecticut and all these other states coming here to do their work? Does that mean that also their trades and their unions are compromised? Maybe they should subsidize Hollywood film studios and bring in 19,000 jobs that don't exist, that they can't verify, that they will never be able to put down on paper, that they're just going to speculate as they're going to create while they put a $90 million hole taxable every year in your budget, and then literally subsidize it off the back of 16 out of 17 counties in your state. No. No. Look at the whole picture. I'm not here other than to be irritated and angry for you. Think of me as like Luther, the anger translator. Like, what? What is this? And then imagine me being in a position to affect these things. Not to just be a mouthpiece as a citizen. All right, where are we at? 8:28, almost 8:30. We will jump into, which one were we going into? I know 9 o'clock I'm going to Mineral County. So that's no ifs, ands, or buts. I've been wanting to make this Mineral County Commission meeting for a few weeks here. Look, you got Las Vegas City Council. Once again, this is another thing where you got to go down there. And whoever runs this website, Mr. City Manager Mike Jansen, he knows what he's doing. Because if you look at this, you cannot download this agenda. It is a pain in the arse. Each one of these is download this piece, download this piece, download this piece. And you're like, okay, look at this attachment. What's inside the download? You know what's in the download? Exactly what it says right here. They have no idea what they're doing. The download should be the PDF that is tied to reference this job so that you can look at the full scope of the agenda. You don't get to do that. No, because they have no idea what they're doing in there. This I will specifically say that if I was to sit down inside the city with the city manager, with the city attorney, with the city clerk, with the mayor, with Brian Knudsen, Kira, Olivia, Francis, Chandra, or Nancy Brune, these ward members, I think Nancy Brune is my ward member over here where I live, it would not be a great conversation. It would be you're slacking, lacking, and we're gonna click over to that in the middle of while we're in the middle of Mineral County. We'll flip back over and look at this because I want you to see how empty it is. And once again, another place where there is no remote communication. You cannot, if you can't make it to city council down there to start and speak and do that, they just, and ladies and gentlemen, they spend millions. They just issued, what was it? Oh my goodness, I had the whole numbers up. Was it 90 million? I don't want to see the wrong number because 90 million's another number that I was just quoting. Millions of dollars on what they call various purpose bonds. They passed this without a vote of anybody. 15% of consolidated tax is pledged to cover those $90 million, if I'm stating the number. I just did a post about this the other day. You have to understand the power that has been instilled in a little bitty city council right here. Gets to go write debt on you and your family and your kids' kids' generations to pay off. Pledging your contribution through your property tax, your sin tax, your seed tax. It's wild, man. All right. Anyways, we'll pop into that meeting for a second, but we don't want to have it up because they'll start talking. We are going into can't do contractors. I know I'm going to that meeting for sure. But what was the one that I could call into? Was it this one? 8:30? Yeah, I think it's this one. Because redevelopment agency is, yep, that's, oh, well, they're starting. What the heck? Look at that empty room. Do you see the empty room? Look at this. Empty. Now you understand. Just, maybe I can, if I push this, it'll probably go full screen. I'll do that. Let me put this link down here in case you're watching your view, and you can go see how ridiculously redonkulous this is. Here you go. There's your portal meeting there. So you can see to get to this council meeting, which is the redevelopment agency agenda for Las Vegas. You're seeing how they're kind of moseying around. It's 8:31, by the way, and they're still walking around. They have not started. So they're late. They're half-assing. And then nobody's even in here to hold anybody accountable, really. One person. Good for you. 2, 3. Okay. 3 people. And I would be willing to bet that somebody there is probably a presenter for one of these many different items here. So we got 6, 7, 8, and 9 agendas. You got possible action regarding changes and amendment to business security grant incentive program by the city of Las Vegas. So they're changing a grant incentive program. You understand? What are they changing? To include buildings without retail storefronts, tattoo shops as eligible business types to be in compliance with and furtherance of the goals objective redevelopment plan. So they are adding buildings without retail storefronts into their business security grant incentive program. So that's probably called the BSGIP or something. I would have to go look that up. If you would like to, there you go. If you have a business without retail, it looks like there's a grant incentive program. Now, I would imagine that these are something dealing with when they have to shut down and affect businesses during F1, right? A lot of people are going through a hardship on that. They got smaller businesses, little thing, and they're getting killed from like November to January, sometimes earlier. And they can't take those losses. These are smaller businesses. It's not fair to them. Let's see what time. It's 8:33, 3 minutes late.
Everybody ready? Okay, we good? Ready. Okay, ready? Okay. Okay. Good morning, everybody. The redevelopment agency meeting of January 21st, 2026 is called to order.
Whose grandma did you guys elect?
This meeting has been properly noticed and posted in compliance with the open meeting law. These proceedings are being video recorded and can be viewed live on City of Las Vegas TV on Cox Cable Channel 2. You could also watch the meeting live online and access other city content by visiting lasvegasnevada.gov/connect. The proceedings will be rebroadcast on City of Las Vegas TV the Wednesday of the meeting at 8 p.m. and also on Friday at 4 a.m., Saturday at 7 p.m., Sunday at 7 a.m., and the following Monday at 5 p.m. This building is protected by a state-of-the-art fire detection and suppression sprinkler system. If alarms should activate during today's meeting, please evacuate using the exits at the back of the chambers out to the mezzanine, proceed out the double doors to the terrace and down the back staircase. For anyone that has difficulty with stairs, please check with a marshal or fire official for assistance. Once outside, assemble on the northeast corner across the street from City Hall at Lewis and First Street. Employees wearing safety vests or our city marshals will inform you when it is safe to re-enter the building. For public comment related to the items on the agenda, citizen participation, and public hearing items, we have available a speaker card which you can complete and submit to the city clerk.
And
Cards
that's
are
it.
available in the clerk's office or at the rear of the chambers. If you do not submit a card, it does not prevent you from speaking under public comment, citizen participation, or specified public hearing items. If there is anyone present today that is in need of hearing impaired equipment, please see the city clerk staff. And please note, if you parked in the parking garage across the street, a self-validation machine is located in the foyer between council chambers and the security desk you walk through to enter these chambers. You must have your ticket with you to use the machine. If you do not have your ticket, see security personnel when exiting for a validation coupon. We will now move on to item 3. Agenda item number 3, public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. The amount of time any single speaker is allowed may be limited. All comments made will be cross-referenced to those specific items. If anyone submitted a speaker card or who wishes to speak under this portion of the agenda, please come to the podium and state your name for the record. And we will set
My name is Matthew Winterhawk, and I'd like to
the
speak, but you have not
comments
made
for 1
remote
minute.
technology
Is there
available.
anybody that would like to speak? Seeing nobody, we will move to item number 4.
She didn't even look. Hold on. Shut up.
Name for the record, and we will set the comments for 1 minute. Is there anybody that would like to speak? Seeing nobody, we will move to item number.
That was a bad editing job, bro. It looked like she was just like looking down. Seeing nobody? Yeah, well, if you look at your paper, lady, there's nobody there to speak. I get it. All right, we're not going to sit in there. That's normal. Seeing nobody, seeing nobody, seeing nobody. Well, they're used to saying that. They say that. I've been standing at the podium, and they said, seeing nobody. I'm like, I'm invisible. I'm a ghost. It is that ridiculous. All right, 9, we've got Mineral County Board of County Commission. Like I said, I want to be involved in that one. This one here we can dial in and listen on, which was the architectural? Yeah, this one. Let's call into that one. Check it out. 253-253-215-8782. Call. You got to be quiet. You see how I always go quiet? It's because
Welcome
sometimes
to
it's not muted.
Zoom. Enter your meeting ID followed by pound.
Okay. 831-7250-5794.
You entered 8. You have not entered any numbers. Please re-enter your meeting ID followed by pound.
Oh, I just did, you ding dong. 831-7250-5794 pound.
You entered 831-7250-5794. This meeting ID does not exist. Goodbye.
Oh. 831-7250. Did I dial that right? Yeah. We have a problem. That's okay. We got digital access here. Let's see what we got. Open Zoom meetings. Do I have Zoom? I might have Zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, zoom, 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 zoom. Yeah, zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, zoom, zoom, zoom. All right, ready, set, join.
Recording in progress. The CEUs, and she is here if you have any questions.
I'll open it up if there's any discussions or questions. All right, hearing none, I guess
I'll just let our 2 new board members know. If someone has their initial registration in Nevada and they let it lapse for more than 3 years, they have to come back before the board to have their license restored, and that's why Ms. Barber is here today.
That's correct. I read through the case. I understood it. It seems like she's followed all the necessary requirements, and I have no issues with her reinstating in Nevada.
Okay.
Any comments or questions? All right, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor?
I don't have a motion.
We need a motion.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's right.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay.
Second the motion.
All right.
Okay.
Any further discussions?
So we got a Stacy Hatfield, a
All right,
Sherry,
now I get to call
Chelsea
for a
Lavelle,
vote.
Tina,
All those in favor?
Gorlock.
Aye.
Aye.
This meeting here.
Anyone opposed? Cool, motion carries.
Okay, and so Ms. Barber will be in touch with you. Someone from staff will be in touch with you today or tomorrow to work through those last few steps and get you licensed.
Thank you for your time and professionalism. I truly appreciate it. Everyone has been wonderful to work with. Thank you.
Thank
Right.
you.
Thank you. I'll leave the call.
Okay.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
All right. What else can we jump into now? All right, let's jump into item number 6. Update of the board's jurisprudence examination and appointment of board members to assist with the preparation of a practice-specific jurisprudence exam. And so, as many of you may have seen, maybe not recently, but along the way, that state of Nevada has a small little examination specific to our rules and regs that each candidate must go through. It's been a while since we've actually reviewed that, and in the spirit as we've gone through with our RD exams and some of the other processes that we go through, felt that this is a good time to take a second look at this and make sure it's up to date and concurrent. So we are looking for a few volunteers to jump in and help review this. We're probably just looking at a couple meetings and some homework assignments along the way, but this kind of narrows it down rather quickly that we would like to get one person from each profession. So unfortunately, Craig, tag, you're it. Sherry and Chelsea, you guys can play rock, paper, scissors or flip a coin to see if one of you would like to jump in and help us out with this one. And then I'll sit in from the architecture side. And if there is anybody else of Greg or George or Tina, if you'd like to join in.
Jim, I'll be happy to join since I essentially wrote the original exam that we're still using many moons ago.
Oh, so that was ink and linen.
Actually, it was two stone tablets that came down from the Mount Charleston. So,
I didn't think it was that long
Stone
ago,
tablets from Mount Charleston. At least they're in good spirits.
All right.
Back when I had long hair.
That's hilarious.
I'm happy to help as well, you guys. It's just that I have a lot of travel coming up in January and February, so I don't want to commit. But if you want to loop me in and I can make it, I'd love to be there.
Yeah, you can loop me in too.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it, everybody. Like I said, it's not as big of a going through all the RD exam questions and doing all that stuff. But yeah, it's just something we need to make sure it's up to date. And of course, that fun word we've all learned from NCARB, that it's all defensible. All right, excellent. So moving on to item number 7, review and possible approval of the new workers' comp coverage through the Department of Risk and Management. This is really both kind of informational and also an action item for us. Stacy will get into a lot more detail behind it.
They're
basically
way ahead of schedule.
We are no longer allowed to use a private carrier and have to go through the state system. And so because of that, the costs are different and it's going to require us to alter our budgets. So Stacy, I'll let you get into the depth of all this a little bit.
I don't have a lot more depth than that. Yeah, we had to cancel our coverage with Pro Group, which was significantly less than what we're required to now have through the state with risk management. All the boards are seeing these kind of big increases because now we're putting in the state general pool, right? So the risk being spread across the state, which has some high risk positions, as opposed to us just having, admin, the fee is much higher. But we don't really have a choice, but we do need this approved by the board so we can alter our budget and cut the check.
This is Greg. Is it the intent of business and industry, the state, that the lesser risk boards are subsidizing the higher risk boards in terms of premium costs? Is there do we know if that's part of the rationale for this? Otherwise, I think when it's time for us to comment back to the state regarding policies, procedures, and whatever, we should duly note that this particular requirement on behalf of the state is costing significantly more which translates in an impact to our budget and to our registrar to help pay for the operation of this board.
Yeah, that point was brought up at the last Sunset Subcommittee hearing by Senator Daley. He was talking about how we're not funded by the general fund, so this is money that's coming out of our licensees' pockets. And like I said, all these, all the boards are seeing a huge increase in their fees. So it is something that the legislature is aware of, but right now it is a requirement.
Stacy, how much impact does that have on our annual budget?
I believe it's an extra $5,000. We're paying right now currently $1,200
right
a year. I think this one is over 5,000, if I remember correctly.
That's a hell of an increase.
Or 6,000. Yeah, I think it was going to be. Monica was saying it was like an additional 5,000, so
Wow.
Probably about 6,000.
Wow.
Okay, thanks.
And to answer your question, Greg, no, we are not subsidizing anybody else. This is done with a very mechanical formula. They just take your payroll and then they do a little math on it and you end up with a number. We're not subsidizing anybody else. We're simply, for the first time and probably, I don't know, I was checking with my clients when this edict came down. 30 or more years ago, we were told to do exactly what we're doing, which is to buy your own insurance because you're not state employees. And this administration has changed that position, and now we are. So, but we're not subsidizing anybody any more than anybody else is. Every state agency gets subjected to the same mechanical, what's your payroll, and then they do the math on it, and then we get a figure. So
that doesn't sound
we're
right.
not subsidizing anybody.
Louis, I guess, somebody came up with the formula and somebody's trying to satisfy a premium that the state owes unless we're all self-insured. Is that the case? Regardless, the concern should be noted that this is however many 100% increase to these boards. And from what you just said, across the board. So not sure why this is a great idea on behalf of our state government, but nonetheless, I don't think we have a choice. So
there you go. We don't.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. For us to the issue at hand for us is more just recognition that in previous board meeting we did go through and consolidate and vote and approve upon a budget, and this was a substantial enough change to that budget that we needed to bring it back to the group just to make sure everybody was aware of it. That if it was $50, no big deal. Probably wouldn't even brought it to the board's attention other than we're switching. But yeah, with a massive cost increase, and I guess we're fairly fortunate that we are actually a smaller board. But if you can think of a larger board with a bigger staff and things that are going on and multiply it times what we're getting, it's just like, whoa, I can only imagine. So,
well, for all of the discussion about efficiency, cost saving, et cetera, that was bantered about in the B&I discussions and the consolidation of government, et cetera, this flies totally in the face of that effort. So, and again, I think we should note that the next time we get a chance to raise that with the appropriate parties within the state government when they ask for our opinions on things.
all righty. So, do I have a motion to approve and amend the budget?
For all my griping and groaning, I'll make the motion.
All right. Do I have a second?
I'll second it. Recommend.
Okay. Any further discussions? All right, call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
All right. Motion carries. All right, what's another one we can get through? Actually, yeah, jump into item number 8, review and approval of the master calendar for fiscal year 26 and 27.
Okay, so I've included in the board books is the current master calendar for the rest of this fiscal year. Those board meeting dates you should be familiar with. You've had them for the past year. And then it's the new calendar for the upcoming fiscal year, which is 26-27. Please make sure you take a look at those board meeting dates. If you have any conflicts, please let Monica or I know, so we can make those changes ahead of the game so everyone can get those on their calendar and make sure that they are at the board meetings.
All right, means we need to make this official. Would someone care to make a motion, please?
Move to approve.
I will second.
All right, second. Any other further discussions? All right, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, motion carries. Let's see, we've got a couple more minutes. What else can we squeeze in here? Oh, calendar. All right, I think we can get to item number 9. Item number 9, review and possible approval of the contract with lobbyist James Wadhams with the Board for Legislative Representation Services.
Okay, so in your board book is the contract with our longtime lobbyist, Jim Wadhams. This is a contract for 3 years. It will cover us for the 25 and 27 legislative sessions. He has asked for a small fee increase this year. We've been very happy with his services, so we're happy to pay that increase. He certainly earned his fee this past session.
Paid lobbyist to
anyway, so this would be
lobby on behalf of a board that is now
the
state-funded apparature. If that is not a loop of money,
yeah, and what's going
I swear,
on in 20
by the moon and the stars in the sky, I'll be there. No, thank you. That is trash.
I really do think we're going to see a continual session. I don't think we're going to have sessions every 2 years like statutes say. I think we're going to be a continuous government process from here on.
I like it, and you're right, buddy. That's why they're continuing to push legislation endlessly. They want full-time, legislatively government-ran.
Mr. Ling, have you?
We don't want that, but they want
reviewed
it.
the contract. It seems to be the standard boilerplate sort of a thing, but
it's crazy. All right, well,
yeah, I know.
We got 4 minutes.
It is the standard state contract.
This guy Lewis Lane
and everything's in order. It's already been, this is an approvable contract at this point. We just need your ratification so that we can sign it and get it into the system.
Thank you.
I want to get into this meeting though before. Come on, where are we at? Where are you at? Where are you bouncing around on your agenda there, Mr. Jim?
Motion. First by George. Is that second by Tina?
Yeah, second, Tina.
Okay. All right. Any further discussions? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. How do I raise my hand?
Anyone opposed? All right. Motion carries. All right. We're doing good here. Let's try to push through and get item number 10 then.
Hi, item 10 is approval of our proposed contract with Casey Nealon, who is our auditor. This is a 2-year contract. Again, similar contract that we've had with this auditor for the past 2 years. This will cover us through, for 2 more years.
Will this get us to the point where then we basically have to, solicit again for auditing services? I know periodically we have to, quote unquote, re-advertise.
From what I understand, because of how much the contract is for, we can do informal solicitations for this contract. So in 2 years, we could do another 2-year contract.
Okay, thank you.
So
I'm
is our,
actually going to the contract training tomorrow and Friday, so I'll know more about that whole process soon.
Thank you.
all right, any other questions? All right, call for a motion.
Motion, Tina.
All right, second.
I'll second.
Yeah.
All right, so we have to bounce out of there. That was a Zoom meeting. That was a little different on the format for that because I had to open up the Zoom. It wouldn't, the call in and the meeting ID wouldn't work. I like the call in and meeting ID a lot better because the Zoom itself, like, I'm streaming right now to show people, to inform, to educate, to show the process of how it works remotely, right? This is why I continue to repeat this process. I believe that repetition is what was going to, that's how you learn, repetition. You see somebody do it all the time, like, oh, I can do this. Winterhawk does it. I got this. You sure do. Pat you on the back, and I'll make sure you get there all the way because I want success in all 17 counties. I need an attitude, a civically engaged attitude, a participation over politics, a citizen over identity engagement in all 17 counties because I can't be there for everyone all the time. It's actually impossible. I will be there as much as humanly possible. Did I dial the right number?
Please enter your access code followed by the pound or hash sign. To enable audio controls, please enter your audio PIN followed by the pound or hash sign. If you do not have a PIN, just press pound or hash. Muted.
Well, I hope that said muted, not unmuted. I can never tell. It was like a glitchy voice. Good morning, my beautiful Mineral County. I love Hawthorne. I love that whole area. Walker, driving through. It's a beautiful area. I always stop by the sheriff's department when I go through there. I do. It's not a lie. And I plan on going there again here real soon. When I go up to register, because I got to go do this, right? Dun, 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 the actual process of registering. And they're like, you could go to the North Las Vegas office, buddy. If I could ride a horse from here to Carson City,
I'm willing.
I would do it.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to make a couple of comments before we get going.
Your entry is not valid. Your entry is not valid.
I have no control.
Item number 3, approval of the agenda and necessary changes. Missing. Item 13 needs to be removed.
The moderator has muted the conference. This line cannot be unmuted.
Oh. I have no control. Well, I tried to raise my hand to say hi. Sorry, Mineral. I love you guys.
Oh, and yes, the commissioner is not going to be here today, Mr. Grant.
And I will not give.
What do you mean the commissioner is not going to be there today?
I mean, we can amend agenda laws for
let me see if I can go with this.
moving or amending the agenda as scheduled, so you take a motion to
allow app is using my camera, but can I? Okay, I'm ready. Okay. Where's the audio at? I have no audio here. Speaker. There we go. Speakers, headphones.
And the changes as discussed, moving item 13.
Second that. In favor? Item number 4, Alyssa Burke, Grant Administrator, presented for review, discussion, and possible action on research and collaboration concerning the grant applications and how they are available.
Walk for you guys. So I spoke to Tracy from Plumbers on Thursday, and we confirmed that we still haven't heard back from the state on our final report on the cleanup that we sent to them. So he is reaching out to get status on that and see if they're waiting on anything additional from us, or if we have an estimated approval from them. So hopefully by the next meeting, we'll at least have a status as far as the state's stance on the close report. SHPO, I heard back from the architect. She is still interested in doing the work with us. We had to send the changes that SHPO wanted us to include in the scope of work. So she requested a meeting with me either this afternoon or tomorrow to kind of go over what updates are included and pricing and things like that. Once I have that information from her, I can send those back to SHPO, and then hopefully we'll get an amended or document that fits the whole dollar amount of whatever her changes for the new quote for the historic. So I obviously won't sign the award or anything like that until the next meeting, once you guys get a chance to hear the updates and things like that. So we're still moving forward there. The Division of Forestry grant, we did receive the draft Word document, and the dollar amount is incorrect on it. They had the first application that we submitted was under $10,000. They were the ones who came back and asked us to do an additional. So I pointed that out, and she said it was a draft. So they would be resetting it the correct dollar amount. And Dennis is going to give his contact from India, because she plans on coming down and helping with the trees. So they're going to work on those timelines. We have to get back to the timeline for all of our texts for them to put in the award document. So as soon as he's able to get that information from her, we'll send that back to NDF and have the final award document that we can send forward. So still working on that. And then the next two, we're just waiting to be able to put those out for bid. And then I don't have anything to update on the traffic safety enforcement grant. The JAG grant, I did tell you guys this last time, so it's the same thing. Submitted and the report submitted by and that was for it's $49,000 for that use. So I'll be getting that reimbursement soon. And then the RCAC sub board that we are part of, we formed our recruitment committee with people from the community to work with Julie and I, and we have another meeting this afternoon. We kind of discuss the steps and get everything moving for the workshops to be able to start in March. So no big changes or anything to update on that. And then the only other thing, which I know I'm going to do the last Thursday of this month, will be the workshop. And they did send us the draft already of the local food safety. So, and to everybody who will be attending that workshop, so that everybody can have eyes on it. And productive discussion, change, discuss that. So, that's a good thing to have. The only thing, I did attach this to the back of this, I am determined to get one of the mobile and town grants before they're out of funding, and they're very close. So, these are due on the 31st of March. I put these on here because everything we've submitted before has not been accepted, so I just kind of wanted to put it in your guys' heads if you have any kind of community projects. It's a place making, so they want it to be like, I mean, I'm not saying they build another park. For if we wanted to purchase a building, small business incubators, things like that. So if you guys can just start brainstorming, can you give me any ideas you have, and I'll come back to you if I come up with anything. Auburn Main Street will likely apply for it also because nonprofits are also eligible, and like I said, everything's offering to get one, and they go to places around and much larger, and I feel like if it's a rural grant, there should be a chance. So you guys can do anything, just let me know. But
all town Wi-Fi zone.
I don't know if this one, I mean, actually, maybe I think I know one of the previous awards that they've done for it was like they literally took an alley at community and they painted it and put some outdoor furniture, like the buildings, they painted up and made murals and stuff, and the sidewalk for like hopscotch and things like that. Put some outdoor furniture out there and then made it free Wi-Fi. It's definitely, it's open to a lot of possibilities. So let me know. I think I'm gonna start putting things together.
Okay.
That's all I have today, unless you guys have questions.
When do we want to get back to?
So it is a quarterly grant, and this next will go on March 51st, depending on how much labor it takes and things like that to include in grant. I would say March would be fine. That gives me a couple of weeks to put together. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys.
Item number 5, accounts payable vouchers, credit card approval for requests, capital outlay, purchase orders, and capital so by contract.
Good morning.
You first person, I'll come back. This one, actually.
You have? Okay. Fine. Are you ready with that?
Okay. Number 6, for Womack comptroller for consideration and possible action relative to impeachment and letter to the plan of the station investing budget matters.
Yes.
Financial statements. 354.6.
Okay, so when audit presented, we noted that there was a violation of the Medicare fund. So we just had to drop the letter statewide and give it right, human protection is fine. So we just have to submit a letter, and then this is the tax committee. Then we try to pull the letter during the recent copy.
For consideration, number 7, for consideration of possible action relative to the designation of the auditing firm of O'Reilly Lake Associates LLC for Manning County in accordance with 354.62 for the fiscal year 2026 and 2020.
2 years with the renewal with Frankie Lake Associates, so this is just for annual renewal, she went up from 68,000 to 70,000. But can't be regulations. Prior.
We'll need a motion, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
To your contract.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we designate the auditing firm Arati Blake and Associates LLC for Monroe County in accordance with NRS 354.64 for fiscal year 26 and 27.
I'll second that. Any public comment? All in favor? Aye. These are something.
Yes. It's a one.
For consideration and possible action relative to the annual budget instructions memorandum to county departments.
So this is starting. I'm not looking about to department. I just want to kind of go over, in the past few years, we've requested salary with no cost of living and with cost of living. This year I removed it without the cost of living, just because it's been historical that we've done it. It doesn't work on us to enter double the figures. Unless you guys want that in there and want to see it in the book when we have to budget hearings, and we can have it in there.
Did we do that last year?
We had 3 columns, and then it showed the difference of without cost of living and with cost of living.
Hmm.
So if you guys want that, I can add it back in there.
And the cost of living is
It's
standard, right?
It has been the past several years. It's been at 3%. So, and that was gonna, if we want to reduce it, increase it, keep it.
Personally, I think it helped last year seeing
The difference?
what it would be.
Okay, I can add it back in there.
If it's something that's worth,
Yeah.
It definitely helps seeing what it would be, because it's kind of gonna be a standard thing.
Okay.
Whether it goes up or down or whatever we decide. And is that based on the union agreement this year?
Well, we haven't agreed on anything yet,
Yeah.
but it's not, no, that's not February, I think.
Yeah.
But it was just, reduce, more products. Good points, but it's fine.
Sorry.
Not a big deal.
I'm sorry. It
That's
was
okay.
nice how you had it last year, where we saw it,
Okay, that's fine.
Is that okay?
Yep, and then is that what you guys want to do, is the 3%, or do you want? Historically, the past 10 years has been 3%, maybe 4, but.
Yeah, that's kind of baseline. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, and then just letting you know, retirement rates, are remaining the same this year, with last year's increase. And then last year, we budgeted 12.5% increase for group insurance. And then I want to know if you guys want to keep that the same or bump it up. But we are hopefully gonna go to bid sooner for insurance this year, since we made all those changes with Medicare, so hopefully our increase will just tell our income fund balance.
Yeah, I think I'm fine with it for estimating 12 12.5, and see where we're at.
Okay,
After that.
all right, and then there's a couple of away, I think. So, one of the budgeting, purchases over 3,500. So we paid up the capital outlay budget, they have some difficult specifications for what they're wanting.
Mhm.
And then, operations and priority fees, if anyone's increasing their budget, there's not like a reasoning why.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then everything else is just instructions on how to fill out, that's fine. And then I have, hearings scheduled for March 23rd for the 26th. But I'll put that on the agenda again. That's just kind of, we get our state figures on the 25th, so.
Okay. Now we're gonna do the same.
I think that's how you
as well.
want to. I'll put that in the,
Yeah,
so you guys can all vote on this together.
okay. Yeah, looks good to me.
All right, then I'll make the changes with adding in the without the cost of living and with.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Don't think so, yes.
Come back to number 5, accounts payable vouchers, credit card approval form request, talk about outright purchase order, and council cash report by fund. And number review, inspection.
And I guess, I'm sorry, Jeremy Williams. But where there's public comment, shouldn't we have some?
There wasn't any action taken, so.
I was just,
Yeah, we have public comment first thing in the start, and then after, before each.
after each thing, right?
After we,
Yeah, I'm just trying to see like. If it says public comment, there just says been skipped the last 3 items. There's been
I don't think it was offered quickly, but they did ask for public comment. And
Well, he just moved from 7 to 5 without any public comment.
yes, this was a double back, so this is going to be offered at the bottom of 5 again. So then once we get to 8, we can offer public comment. The law requires public comment before any action is taken. We didn't take any action on those. That's why we do law requires at the very beginning of the meeting for any general, and then I've typically advised them that we will try to offer public comment even if there isn't action taken, just so people can talk about something. Did we miss an item that you wanted to speak on?
Well, no. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But to kind of, it's a conversation, we can try. So I didn't know if it was possible to have at least presented documents put out with the agenda as part of the public record. I don't know.
So these are part of the public record. Anything in here would be a public document as far as what is receivable, but as far as what we can put out and the limitations on the law, I mean, it would just be, we're talking a lot of information that's not necessarily required under the law at that point. The item is there and we post the agenda. So prior to the meeting, people can prepare and ask for those things in advance, which we would be required to provide if they were asked for in advance. But to have without anticipation of who might want what at the meeting specifically, I would not advise us to do that. I think that would just be a waste of resources. Yeah. Correct. And that's why it's posted well in advance of the meeting as required by law. So people, if they wanted to have more information on that specific agenda item, could come down to the office and request more information, which we would have to get to them at that point. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Mayor, for that. I don't have all the reports, so I'm saying.
a lot of the truck centers. Roll off on them.
Yeah, we had to do some repairs. We had a broken steering wheel, some other items on the truck that needed to be repaired before we
Oh, what's
purchased.
the repair?
Yeah, that's where we purchased the items and our mechanic puts them on.
Okay. Yeah, because I know we have roll off, right? That we own.
Yeah.
It looks like we rented one. Just repaired them.
I think I'm muted so I can talk. So I'm good to go. I was going to give public comment, but I couldn't get through with the phone line. There wasn't like a raising hand button, so they just like skipped right through the first public comment. I was just going to say hi, introduce myself. You know, some of the people in Mineral County, they're aware of who I am. So. What are they doing in the meeting right now? It is 9:24, so we have missed, which they're probably in the middle of. Yep, there's City Council. Clapping for something.
And for the council, these are the folks who are out there doing this work on a daily basis, so I appreciate that. And I know Nick's family is here. Nick has very good genes, so it's not really a surprise that Nick is in this role. Nick's mom and dad both were city employees. His dad, Public Works, is that right? Public Works. And his mom, when I started here, was our HR rep for community development. So she guided me through my first few interviews and did an outstanding job and retired recently. So Nick, thank you very much. You certainly do embody the values we have of being kind, committed, and smart. I know you have a team behind you, but let me turn it over to you and you can go through.
So City Council for Las Vegas going on right now. They're still in the very beginning stages. 23 minutes of patting each other on the back. President's Cap. What the heck is that? Oh, ACLU. Or ASUN. Student Union. Yeah, I think I was in on the last one. Is this isn't the one where they're discussing, I should see if they're discussing the tuition increases. Why is it a DocX agenda? Why is it not in PDF format? You guys are,
Biggest thing on there was the sheriff's office. Their card had fraudulent activity for over 13 transactions to get flights to Vietnam and Bangkok, and Zimbabwe, and a couple other places. But B of A flagged it thankfully, so we also caught it. There was one flight to Vietnam that did go through. But we did process it with the Rajon Department and water, so that one should be.
It's on my reviewing Sheriff's Department. Where are they at? Oh, they're back on 5. How'd they get to 5? That's crazy.
Yes, that was purchases.
That's why somebody said we went from 5 to 7 with no comment. Okay. So they went backwards. That's what they're doing. All right. So while they're doing that, you got Clark County Zoning Commission is meeting right now. What are they meeting over? 8 pages. Items 4 through 18 are routine items. Routine. I'll be the judge of that. Proposed vehicle wash in conjunction. Waiver of development standards. This should never be done. How about no on that one? Don't waive anything. Waiver of development standard. Nope. Waiver of development standard. Nope. Nope. No waivers. If you're no.
First, I have not received.
Wow, that even be something that's possible. Use permits, Resort World. There's a lot going on in there. They're like, oh, just routine. Or extension of time. Boulder LLC. Trust
other thing I got to look into for this year was our propane.
Make sure they're not making any aviation changes, Mr. Ross.
Valley. So I did call. I said with Donna, actually, she gave me history. We used to have a contract with Valley Propane. I don't know how many years ago. It expired, but they still honored those prices. And it's only a 64 difference between Jim Menacini and Valley Propane. So we don't feel that it'd be.
Lyon County.
I feel like if we go out to bid and ask them, to bid for it, that they could change their rates drastically. Instead of honoring what we have right now. So the largest charges like sewage and Menacini are actually diesel. They're not.
So much going on.
Yeah. So the senior center worker for the fire department. That's our Valley Living. We did theirs for $1.86 at the fire department, and Jim and the CD did the senior center for about $2. What do you think?
I think if we switch, we'd have to go to Valley.
Well, if we went out to bid,
yeah,
they could change the rates that we have, and we might not get as low as rates with Valley or whomever now, because they've been honoring those contracted rates from 10 plus years ago this whole time without having to renew our contract or anything. Valley Propane.
If they go out to bid, then everything's up in the air.
They could go higher, it could go lower. We don't know. So it's just information for you guys to see how you want to proceed with that. Just an update on what I found out.
Are we in both services then?
Only certain offices use Jim Menacini. I think the reason that they switched was Valley Propane wasn't servicing or couldn't service certain locations within a timely manner than which they wanted it done. So then they went to Jim Menacini. He's a contractor. Just
we'll probably jump on that one too. 9 counties after this one.
Current activity seems to be higher than we.
That's the whole month of January. So that's first payroll, second payroll.
Okay.
Last commission meeting, got it plus, well, and then not included moving.
Yeah. When did we start this meeting? This is not advancing very fast.
Well, we need to make action on the propane thing, and just keep it how it is.
It was just an update, just let you guys know when I found out, and then it's 2%.
Board of Trustees, Employee Savings Trust, Commission Ethics. Okay, so we're pretty clear.
Thank you, guys. Any public comment?
I do have one comment. Dan Brony. This is an open bid on product like propane that the county uses. I think there's a lot of flexibility in the market right now to watch the news. And like you said, it could go up or down. But I know Mendocini's coming in pretty hard. I personally use Mendocini because they did outbid Valley Propane. And I'm not a soda one whatsoever, but I think the county needs to save money. And if we can look at overbidding, I can see it. 89 ago. What value? I mean,
It's already 6 per unit.
I don't know. I'm not lying with propane price.
No, it's just a 64-cent difference on the same unit.
Yeah.
64 cents cheaper for the same units than this for a different.
Yeah. But there is no contract.
Correct.
Yeah.
It did expires. I can look at it, starting with the documents that so that you can see. Oh, I think I'll be right. I'll see.
You're just asked for Commissioner Grants, and she was just like, come on, yeah. It's also.
Is it just for the propane?
For the propane, yeah.
Yeah, the other fuels, Valley Propane does not.
Correct.
But Valley only does the propane. So that's what I was thinking on the Mazzini, if they added all of it to the diesel and the propane and see what the difference of the price might be then. Yes.
Item number 9.
Wait. 9.
Traffic development. Funding will come from Hawthorne Minor and Union Restricted Fund.
Correct. We have some emergency repairs we have to do at multiple well sites. Permission to take funding out of restricted because it wasn't a planned operation. So we can pay for this. We just need permission to use those funds. The minor repairs, we got to lift the casings to 18 inches. Right now they're just above ground level. The quote we got is $8,700 for minor looming. And the quote for Whiskey Well, that pump actually failed. Right now it is not operational. So they're going to have to come in with a crane, pull that well, find out what's wrong with it. But the quote they gave us is $11,300.
Get it done.
Can't
be
yeah, we have
that
the money
down.
in the restricted fund. Mine is going to take a really hard hit. It's going to pretty much max out their restricted funds.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Public comment?
Okay. I'll make a motion that we approve the emergency repair to Whiskey Well 3 and Rattler Wells with the funding coming from Hawthorne Mine and restricted funds.
I'll second that. Favor?
Aye.
Thanks. Item number 10, Kyle Lyson, Recreation and Community Development Director, for consideration of possible action relative to a $5,000 donation to Hawthorne Main Street from.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, but I can't hear you guys too well. So yeah, with this donation, sorry, with last year's donation of $10,000, it was
Just a second, Kyle. Sorry, is this the only speaker for the? Is this volume here?
I'm actually, I can head up there if somebody wants to go in front of me. Can we let Chris go and I'll go after him?
That would be great. That would be awesome if you
I'm
could
on
do
my
that.
way.
So we're going to skip him and come back, circle back. He's going to come down. Thanks, Kyle. It's just there's only one speaker and it's right next to Teresa and I, and no one else can hear.
Okay, no worries. I'm on my way.
Thanks.
11, Chris Lawrence, Chairman, Mineral County Local Emergency Planning Committee, for consideration and possible action relative to approval of the Mineral County Local Emergency Planning Committee amended bylaws by Mineral County Board of.
Good morning. Good morning. This is a requirement that we're have to do for the state every year. We did some updating. Jerry had really helped a lot with it. We did some formatting on it. We removed some stuff that really didn't need to be on there to be added for them. Yeah. All we're asking is approval to the commission to approve them so that I can send it on to the state by the end of the month. And I ask for your signature.
Do you have any public comment?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve Mineral County Local Emergency Planning Committee amended bylaws.
I'll second that. Baker?
Thank you for your help on that. Yeah, it's nice. He did good. He was really good. Yeah. Great effort. That's.
Else decided?
That's what I want.
Number 12, for consideration and possible action relative to approval by the Mineral County Board of Commissioners of the Hazardous Materials Emergency Response Plan presented by the Mineral County Local Emergency Planning Committee.
This is also a requirement for the state CERC that we're required to do. We're not required to update it every year, but we always find something in the document that needs to be changed. This year we added Highway 362 that was not in there, one of our highways. Sherry updated the phone numbers, she updated the documents, so the table of contents works, and then I updated the layer foundation. That's pretty much all of the changes that we've done. It was put in front of the committee last week. Motion by Sherry and seconded by Glenn Bunch, and then with the two by committee. All I ask is that you guys approve that document and signatures approved.
Public comment?
I'll make a motion that we approve the hazardous materials emergency response plan presented by the Mineral County Local Emergency Planning Committee.
David?
Aye. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so that is how they use GoTo Meeting for their digital, which seems like they were having communication issues with that as well. As he stated, only 2 people could hear from the speaker from the remote conversation, and it was an issue. So for presentation purposes, I'm sure it is an issue, but for public testimony, not. So if you're out in Mineral County, they have availability for you to be there, even though you can't physically be there. So it's there. If you need help or assistance, just reach out, and I'll walk you through the process of what I just did. We're going to jump into Nye County. When did that one start? I want to make sure I had the time right. Why does it say 8:08 a.m.? Is that when they posted the agenda? 7:59 a.m. Because the agenda I thought started at 10. Hold on a second. Let me double check. This one doesn't start till 10, right? Yeah, so we're not going to start that one until 10. It is 9:40. We've got 20 minutes to kind of hop into... What do we got here? Let's go back up to 9. You can still see this if you want to see City Council, which, like I said, is...
Thank you so much. Is there anybody else that wishes to speak to the council? Seeing no one, we will move on to item number 8. For possible action, any items from the 9:30 a.m. session that the council staff and/or applicant wish to be stricken, tabled, withdrawn, and held in abeyance to a future meeting may be brought forward and acted upon at this time. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mayor. I have several items to read, starting now. Number 10, exercise the first option term to extend the master services agreement between the City of Las Vegas and the Mayor's Fund for Life. There's an abeyance request by our Deputy City Manager newbie until the February 4th, 2026 City Council meeting. Item number 16, parking lease agreement between KLA Capital Series 7 LLC and the City of Las Vegas, a 19-space parking lot located at 1127 South Casino Boulevard. There's a request by staff to strike that item. Item number 20, award of contract number 26, MWB 149TF, consulting services agreement for data and evaluation management services recommended to University of Nevada, Reno.
Not to
There's an
exceed
abeyance request by the city manager to the February
First one they
4th,
mentioned up here was
2026 City Council meeting. Item number 51, 25-0483, VAR1. Applicant owner is Guadalupe Genoveva.
I don't want to go. I have to get my faculties about me before I go into Las Vegas City Council because it's just infuriating. The same thing with Clark County Commissioners. It's like you start out one way and then Tick Segerblum will interrupt you 17 times in the middle of your comment because they don't want to hear your comment because your comment has gravity inside of the room. They don't, I don't know. They're not friendly. They're not conducive. Yeah, it's there, but it's more formality. They want to sweep you along. It's kind of like if you remember special legislative session and Dondero Loop, how she was like, ditto is a great response. Just for ditto is... Lady, this is our moment. This is our engagement. And it's the very small amount of engagement that we're allowed, which was to speak on behalf of not allowing a business to come in subsidizing off the back of 15 out of 17 counties that would leave a hole in the budget in 15 years that would be irreparable. The damage would be irreparable, you know? Anyways, I digress. I did want to see if we could pop into the SOS because they're always doing something interesting up there. Looks like we're some amendments here. They've been going since 9. How long is their agenda today? 14 items. They may have already been like bing, 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 done. But let's see. See if they did, see if they didn't. If they did, you know, it is what it is. Phone number, as you can see right there, is 888-475-4499. And then prompted, you can do the meeting ID after we call. So hit the call button. You're going to hear it dial up.
Welcome to Zoom. Enter your meeting.
831-9148-4809 pound.
The meeting has not started. Please wait or try again later.
How would that meeting not start? That starts at 9 a.m. I'm going to assume, as I already said, that it ended. It's not that it didn't start. There's no way it hasn't started. They'd be in violation and they'd have to have a red strike through here as if a cancellation. So that's not true. This is ECAC, which is Early Childhood Advisory Council. I've been in a few of their meetings. What are they doing today? Roll call, flexible agenda so they can move around. Child care subsidy updates, strategic planning, ECAC logo reveal. Is that this thing right here? The swirly whirly? Collaborative, First 5 Nevada Family Leadership Subcommittee. There's quite a bit going on in ECAC today. We can hop in there for a second. They got a phone line if I remember. Yeah, right here. 253-205. 253-205. 0468. And dial. We only have 15 minutes before Nye County, so we gotta...
Welcome to Zoom. Enter your meeting ID followed
815-902-37818 pound.
Enter your participant ID followed by pound. Otherwise, just press pound to continue.
I mean, do I need to put, it didn't say passcode, so participant ID.
Please enter the meeting passcode followed by pound.
308879 pound.
You are in the meeting now. There are more than 40 participants in the meeting. This meeting is being recorded. Please press 1 to provide your consent to be recorded. You are muted. You can mute or unmute yourself by pressing *6.
At getting funding for some of these things, do we have any idea of what kind of cost that would be, or do we even consider that, or do we just make the suggestion through advisory.
So, Deetra, just a little peek ahead, the very next goal is around fiscal policy and sustainability, which I believe gets directly to your question. We do feel like it's a role of the ECAC to address funding and effective fiscal policy, sustainability of programs and services, supporting the growth in infrastructure. So looking at how do we fund these other items that we're suggesting. And I think it also goes to the fact that what we are looking at for the strategic plan and the subcommittee structure and how the different objectives are aligned under that subcommittee structure would really support integration and alignment and collaboration among the various subcommittees in a very strong way, because we recognize things, we know we need to focus on fiscal policy and sustainability as a